Welcome to Nachiketa and the Eternal Flame from the Kathopanishad. We will begin with Om Sahana Vavatu, the Shanti mantra for this Upanishad. Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karvavahe, Tejasvinavaditamastu, Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Om. May He protect us both, teacher and pupil. May He cause us both to enjoy the bliss of mukti, liberation. May we both exert to find out the true meaning of the scriptures. May our knowledge become bright. May we never quarrel with one another. Om, peace, peace, peace. And now we present Canto 1, the burning question. Thousands of years ago in ancient India, there lived a sage called Vajashrava. He had a son named Nachiketa.
Is there a life after death? Some say there is, some say there isn't.
Now, a special event was about to take place in the ashram of sage Vajashrava. The sage intended to perform one of the greatest yagyas, the Vishwajit Yagya, and preparations had already begun. Nachiketa went home to help his father.
Oh my God, what a poor offering. These cows are sick and old. This is wrong. Father, why don't you give me?
Quiet, son. You are just a boy. You don't know anything.
Father, what is right? Please offer me.
He is making me so angry.
Father, to whom will you offer me?
Damn you, boy. I will give you to Yama.
To that I go. I will serve him like a son.
And so Nachiketa departed for the realm of death. And now we will all chant the Mahamrityunjaya mantra 3 times on Nachiketa's behalf as he pierces the veil and crosses over. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Now we present Canto 2, the 3 boons. Who knows what work the Lord of Death will do through Nachiketa this day?
Oh, wake up, Tamo. Someone is coming. Time for action. I am tired. It is morning. Stop. Who was that? I am Nachiketa, son of Vajashrava. I am here to see Lord Yama. Do you have a special request? I have only one request to see Lord Yama. Tamo, is his name on the list? H-I-J-K-F-M. No, Nachiketa. No, get password, Nachiketa. Your time has not come. Run home to Mama. Prepare Yamaraj. Come back. I will wait till Yama is ready for me.
Nachiketa waited in this way for 3 days without food or water. Finally, Yamaraj arrived. He came with his pitch-black buffalo, as the stories always described him, dark, regal, and powerful. His mace over one shoulder and his nose dangling from his other arm.
Oh, oh! Who are you? I am Nachiketa, the son of Vaisrava. He has sent me to you. I see you have got all that and obeyed your father. I give you credit for that. Please continue.
For his fearless obedience, Nachiketa had won the first round. He knew his stay had been extended.
Sir, I have been waiting for 3 days. Really, did no one receive you and offer you food? No, my lord.
Now Yama was in a tricky situation. According to the sacred code, a priest was to offer every form of hospitality. And Nachiketa had neither drunk nor eaten in 3 days. Yama realized that he had served the boy a double fault. He had lost on 2 counts, and Nachiketa was beginning to grow in presence.
How can I repay? There must be a way. Oh! Brahmi, I will give you 3 woods.
Nachiketa bowed to the god of death, who seemed to have gained in stature after his generous offer. By giving Nachiketa 3 sporting chances, he had more than cancelled his debt.
Think carefully, Nachiketa. If you choose well, you may win the day. Yamraj, this is my first wish. Make my father happy again. Let him welcome me when you send me back. Well played, Nachiketa. Your father will greet you when you return from my job. And as your second wood,
Nachiketa had heard that in heaven no one is hungry or thirsty, no one gets sick or old, and no one is afraid, because the Lord of Death himself is not there. Surely Yama, who stands with 1 foot in life and 1 foot in death, knows the fire sacrifice leading from earth to heaven, the Panchagni Vidya.
sir, teach me this Vidya. Oh, you have chosen well. I will teach you now.
And Yama explained to him the secret sacrifice of the 5 fires. Then Nachiketa repeated the instructions.
The fire of lust, the fire of anger, the fire of greed, the fire of attachment, and the fire above the ego.
And Yama was very satisfied. So pleased was Yama that he granted his pupil an extra honor. From that time onward, that fire sadhana leading to highest peace would be called the Nachiketa sacrifice. And to seal this initiation, Yama gave Nachiketa a mala of precious stones.
I'm Dream Cream Om. I'm Dream Cream Om. I'm Dream Cream Om. Now, Nachiketa, ask your third bull. Sir, what happens after that? What a difficult question for a boy so young. Let me test you. Nachiketa, it's difficult to understand. Please ask for something else. Yamraj, you are the king of death. Only you can teach me.
Yama begins to test Nachiketa. First, he tries to tempt him with the pleasures of the world.
Nachiketa, you can have cows. No. You and your children can live for 100 years. No. You can rule over vast empire. Long live the king. No. You can have gold and jewels. No. Look at the lovely girl. You can have power over others, but please don't ask me about life after death. No! Boy has passed every test. I will teach him.
You have heard how in Canto 2 Nachiketa received 3 boons from Yamaraj, and you have seen how the god of death tested his pupil and how Nachiketa did not swerve from his quest. Now we sit at the feet of the Master for Canto 3, the teachings of death.
Nachiketa, you have passed every test. Please teach me about life after death. Listen carefully.
When a man doesn't know what his true nature is, his senses go out to the world and desires are born. And then he does actions to get what he wants. And those actions bind him to the world. There are 2 paths open to mortals. The wise man takes the path of truth and realizes the self. The fool chooses the path of pleasure and goes through the never-ending cycle of birth and death.
Let me show you. The baby, the child, the lover, the mother, and old man. Tell me what happens after that? When a person dies, it is the body that dies, not the self. They are not the same? No, they are not. Here is a chariot. Your chariot, Nachiketa, is your body.
The self is not the body. The 2 are different. The self resides in the body, just as a master does in his chariot.
Then the self is the mind? No, it is not. The mind is the driver of a chariot.
The self is different from the sense organs also. The senses are like the horses that pull the chariot. Mortals are pulled in different directions by the sense organs.
First, we are pulled by the eyes. What a lovely girl. Yes. Or we are pulled by the ear. Oh.
as the horses are held in check by the reins, in the same way, the sense organs are held in check by the reins of the mind. You have a choice. Let us see what happens this time when the girl comes back from the well.
No, I want loop.
To reach the goal, you have to control the horses of the mind.
Please tell me more.
The self is greater than the greatest. It is smaller than the smallest atom. It cannot be seen or touched or tasted. Yama told many things pointing to the mystery of the great beyond. The self is pure being. It is unchanging. Earth cannot hold it down. Water cannot penetrate it. Fire cannot burn it. Air cannot disperse it. Ether cannot contain it. The elemental powers cannot touch it. They bow before it. Nor can any weapon harm it. It is a mistake to think that the killer kills, or that the one who is killed dies. For the self is never born, nor does it die. We just play out our little roles, but the Atman remains unchanging.
So, if the Atma never dies, then where will I find it? The self is the size of a thumb. It lives in our heart. But sir, how can it be the size of a thumb? You are right, Natiketa. The self is infinite.
Of course the self is infinite. It has to be found inside, through meditation. So, for the purpose of concentration, you can see the self inside as a flame, or you can feel it like the mark of a thumb. Only one who has seen the self can show the way, and only a worthy disciple can receive the teaching.
You are a true disciple, Natiketa. Come and sit for meditation. You will find yourself in the eternal Om. That Om is your real name.
न सन्दृशे तिष्ठति रूपमस्य न चक्षुषा पश्यति कश्चनैनं हृदा मनीषा मनसा विक्लिप्तो य एतद्विदुरमृतास्ते भवन्ति.
Beyond everything is the all-pervading Supreme Being. He cannot be seen by the eyes. He is revealed by the pure intellect and the controlled mind, residing in the heart. Those who know him become immortal.
यदा पञ्चावतिष्ठन्ते ज्ञानानि मनसा सह बुद्धिश्च न विचेषति तामाहु परमां गतिम्.
When the five senses of perception, along with the mind, are at rest, and even the intellect has ceased its functioning, that, say the sages, is the supreme state.
तां योगमिति मन्यन्ते स्थिरामिन्द्रियधारणाम् अप्रमत्तस्तदा भवति योगो हि प्रभवाप्ययो.
The firm control of the senses is called yoga. One must be ever watchful, for yoga is hard to acquire and easy to lose.
अस्तित्वेवोपलब्धव्यस्तत्त्वभावेन चोभयो अस्तित्वेवोपलब्धस्य तत्त्वभावः प्रसीदति.
The self should be known as existing by faith, and as he really is, to one who approaches him through faith, his true nature becomes revealed.
यदा सर्वे प्रमुच्यन्ते कामायेन्द्रियहृदि स्थिता अथ मृत्युर्मृतो भवत् यत्र ब्रह्म समश्नुते.
When all desires that cling to the heart are released here on earth, then the mortal becomes immortal and attains Brahman, even here.
शतं चैकाच हृदयस्य नाट्य सा सम्मूर्धानमभिनिश्रितैका तयोर्ध्वमायन्नमृतत्वमेति विश्वन्नन्या उत्तरवणे भवन्ति.
101 nerves emerge from the heart. Of them, one goes to the crown of the head. The other nerves lead different ways. But when a man goes upwards, by that one he attains immortality.
अङ्गुष्ठमात्र पुरुषोऽन्तरात्मा सदा जनानां हृदये सन्निविष्ट तं स्वशरीरात् प्रविहिन्मुञ्जादिवेशिकां धैर्येण तं विद्याचुक्रमृतमिति.
The Purusha, the size of a thumb, the inner self, abides ever in the heart of all living things. One should separate him from the sheath of the body patiently, as pith from the reed. One should know him as pure and immortal, yea, one should know him as pure and immortal.
In this way, Nachiketa received the teachings of Yamaraj, the great teacher of all men. I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am not this senses, immortal self-reliant. I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am not this senses, immortal self-reliant. Soham, 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 Shivoham.
Kathopanishad, peace chant, Shanti mantra. Om Sagana Bhavatu Sagano Bhunaktu Sagaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvino Vadidamastama Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Revelation or direct intuition, aparoksha anubhuti, is this source of the knowledge of the Atman or the Supreme Self. This Atman is difficult to be known, is very subtle. It cannot be obtained by arguing. A self-realized guru is necessary to lead the aspirants in the spiritual path. One is good, while another is pleasant. Blessed he who between them chooses the good alone, Shreyas. But he who chooses what is pleasant, praise, loses the true end. Shreyas is the good, the Supreme Self, the knowledge of which leads to moksha or the final emancipation. Praise is that which is pleasant. It is sensual pleasure. The individual soul is essentially identical with Brahman. Through illusion or ignorance, he imagines that he is bound, he is doing actions and is attempting to get deliverance or emancipation. He who trusts the path of truth, who accepts the good, attains immortality and eternal bliss. But he who chooses the pleasant is for essential pleasures, loses the goal of life, undergoes various sorts of miseries, sorrows and troubles, and is caught in the wheel of births and deaths. Shreya Marga is the path of knowledge. Preya Marga is the path of ignorance or the path of pleasure. You will have to abandon sensual pleasures breathlessly if you wish to attain the everlasting bliss of the soul or Atman. The good and the pleasant take hold of man. The wise man examines and distinguishes them. The wise man prefers the good, but the ignorant man chooses the pleasant for the sake of the body. The path of knowledge and the path of pleasure are thrown open to a man. He can choose any path he likes. Just as a swan separates the milk from a mixture of milk and water and drinks milk alone, so also the wise man separates the good in life and follows the good alone. When men know that the Shreya Marga leads to the attainment of immortality, freedom and eternal bliss, and they pray to transitory sensual enjoyments and bondage, therefore they prefer the good to the pleasant. But the foolish or the ignorant, who have no intelligence to discriminate between the good and the pleasant, who have no idea of the good, the means of attaining it and the fruits, choose the pleasant through greed for fattening and preserving the body and for the sake of enjoying pleasures. The two paths are certainly opposing and wide apart. They lead to different results. They are opposite like light and darkness. Avidya, ignorance, is the path of the pleasant. It leads to misery, grief and bondage. Vidya, knowledge, is the path of the good. It is beneficial. It confers freedom and final emancipation. Now here the marks of delusion. The ignorant who live in the middle of darkness, but fancy themselves as wise and learned, go round and round deluded in many crooked ways, like the blind led by the blind. Those men who live in samsara are in the midst of ignorance or thick darkness. They have neither right understanding nor discrimination. They are held and bound by 1,001 ties of expectation. They are entangled in 1,001 measures formed of attachment for children, wife, wealth, property, house, etc. They are ignorant, but regard themselves as intelligent and well versed in the Shastras. They do not attain salvation. They are caught again and again in the wheel of births and deaths. They undergo the pains and miseries of samsara, such as birth, old age, disease, sorrow, pain, and death. Just as the blind, led by the blind on rough and uneven roads, suffer, even so the ignorant undergo suffering. The way to the hereafter is not apparent to the ignorant and who is foolish, deluded by the delusion of wealth. This is the world, he thinks, there is no other. Thus, he falls again and again into the net of death. Wealth is the most powerful of intoxicants in the world. It generates pride and vanity. It produces turbidity in the mind and clouds the understanding. It veils the intellect. The necessary means for attaining liberation are not apparent to the ignorant, to the careless man who is ever thinking of his son, wife, and wealth, and who is enveloped by the darkness caused by wealth. Sensual pleasure is the goal of the worldly man. Money is his god and goal. Eat, drink, and be merry. This is his supreme philosophy. Many are not even able to hear of the Atman. Many, even when they hear of the Atman, do not comprehend it because their minds are not purified.
Nachiketa asked Yama the famous story of Kathopanishad. He says, you are able to come to this area of life, consciousness, and you are able to go to the other area of consciousness, the transcendental consciousness and this ephemeral consciousness. Tell me if there is a survival of soul. And then, if Yama gives you the reply, he is your Guru and you are his Shishya.